So this is going to be all about the Empress. She's card number 3 in the major arcana of the tarot. And three pretty much represents, you know, the manifestation of growth and creativity. It's things that come to life and come together, and it's a very active, involved number. So the Empress is the divine feminine, and she embodies everything being ruled by Venus, everything that beauty and indulgence and creativity and caring, nurturing woman represents. So anyway, we'll talk about that more. But at the moment, let's just look at the cards. So as you can see, she's very beautiful, sitting luxuriously, lounging on her lounge out in nature, in the beautiful surroundings, and it's lush and green and summertime, warm sun shining, and there's growth all around her. There's a crop field in the front of her, and beautiful forest behind her in full bloom, with a gorgeous river and waterfall running through, flowing and full of life. And she's sitting on that couch, and it is decadent. It's just maxed out luxuriously with cushions and blankets, and she is just having the absolute time of her life, sitting there ruling her domain and enjoying all the luxuries and comforts of everything that life has to offer. She's extremely indulgent, and she knows who she is, and she exudes this beauty. She's rich in every sense of the word, with soft feminine beauty and love. So down at her feet you can see the shield in the shape of a heart, and the sign of Venus, which is the ruler, her ruler. Venus rules beauty and love and harmony and balance, and she's all of those things embodied within her. So she's also holding her scepter in her right hand. She's holding it up, and she's like, yep, I am fully in my power, and this is who I am, and this is my domain. She's got a long flowing gown on, and it's covered in pomegranates, and they're like all fully ripe. So she's, you know, her prime is she's the fruit of emotional labor and of human nature and feminine energy. She's fully in bloom. Okay, so what else? We can look at her crown. So she's got a 3-tiered crown, and it's covered in 12 stars. So the 3 tiers is the triple goddess. The first tier is maiden, and as a maiden, she's a maiden, a young empress on her journey. And then she becomes a mother, because of course she's Mother Earth, and she's the mother of all humanity. She gives birth to life. And then last but not least, on the very top tier, she's the crone, and she's she's settled in that wisdom. She's fulfilled and content. She's looking back on her children and her grandchildren and all the people that she loves around her, and the beauty that she's created in her life, the garden that she's grown and tended to, and it's blossomed. Everything she's touched, she's put her creativity and her energy into it, and all of the beauty surrounding her, and she sits back as she's aged into the crone with that wisdom, knowing that she's going to die and be reborn again as the maiden. So she lives her life, the Empress, very much in the domain of the emotions. She's completely in touch and embodies emotion and emotional love and fulfillment, and she's able to manifest that into positive and abundant traits. So she just draws to her. She makes everything become a reality. There's nothing stands in her way. She has no obstacles in her way. Paths open up in front of her, and abundance just falls at her feet. She just manifests abundance everywhere she goes. That's pretty much the big word, emotional abundance. And she gives her emotions unconditionally. She gives unconditional love. she's caring and kind and nurturing. She knows that you've got to put the work in, and she tends to that garden, and she makes sure that everything in Mother Nature is looked after, and so that it can grow and flourish. She's extremely indulgent, and she's the manifestation of all of the emotional abundance in the physical sense. So she's extremely sexual, and she's the mother of fertility. She's completely at peace with her body. She wants to look good. She knows that, as a queen, she stands in her power and feels good when she looks good. She looks after herself. Her physical body, she likes to be beautiful. She likes everything around her to be beautiful, and she likes to feel beautiful. And she's mainly focused on the things in life that her senses can feel. So what she can see, she wants beauty around her. What she can touch, she wants to touch things that give her pleasure, and she wants to give that pleasure. Giving pleasure to others gives pleasure to her. So when she touches her emperor and gives him pleasure, that gives her pleasure. She's it's what she can taste and the food that she eats, and what she can smell, covering herself in beautiful perfumes, and having a domestic house that's clean and full of beautiful objects and art that she's created herself, because she embodies creativity, and she wants to fill her garden and her home with things that she's created that represent her free spirit and the beauty that she sees in life and in nature. What else can I tell you about her? Everything. There's so much to tell about her. But her ultimate goal as the Empress is to love, and to love life, to love herself, to love others, and to feel that love on the emotional level. She can be extremely indulgent, and she's got a lot to give, and she loves giving it. And she could certainly easily be carried away, because she gets lost in that world of feeling and giving and creating, which is a beautiful thing. So the Empress is the counterpart to the Emperor, and I did another video, my first video actually, and I'll hold them up, of the Emperor. So there's the Emperor, and there's the Empress, and you can see the difference in the cards is really apparent, because the Empress sits in her power, in her emotional physical self. She embodies love and emotion and nurturing and caring and giving, and that's everything that she is. She feels and delivers all of those things. That's her purpose in life, is to just enjoy that and give that love and abundance and riches and wealth and luxurious opulence and creativity to the world and to her Emperor. Whereas the Emperor, he I think I said in the video that I did on the Emperor, and you could watch that one if you wanted to know more about him, he has little time for his emotions. They are the last thing on his mind. He's had many lessons in life, and he knows that if he's going to be ruling his empire, he ain't got time for that. It's of no interest to him. They're definitely there, but they're way well behind him. And his kingdom is very barren, and his throne's got he's not adorned with anything. It's just a big concrete throne, because he's busy off being an emperor, and he's got no time to put into those frivolous things. He sees them as frivolous and unimportant. He's not interested in growing his garden. He's not interested in creating the beauty in the garden and the love and abundance in the emotional sense. He's more about the stability and the power and the ruling and the control and the building of his empire. So that's the counterpart, is the Empress, and she completes him, because she brings that unconditional love, and he brings the stability of the empire for her to be able to unfold and have her opulence, and they both balance each other out. So Venus, Venus is ruled by Libra, and Libra is all about balance, and she brings the balance to the Emperor that he wouldn't otherwise have in his life, whereas he brings the stability of his power and control and his sexuality to her. So she wants sex all the time because she's like loves pleasure and loves to give and receive, and is all about the physical and emotional giving and pleasure. She's all about pleasure. Venus is pleasure, and he's all about action and passion and drive. So, and he wants to sow his oats in his Empress, and you know, create his empire with her. And you can see he's looking at her in this card because they're next to each other, 4 and 3, and he's sitting there going, yep, this is my kingdom, and look at my Empress, isn't she amazing? But she's not looking at him. She's too busy looking, and you know, she's off in her creative mind and turning all of those ideas that she has into reality. And she's thinking about all of the luxurious and beautiful surroundings that she's got and all of the love that she's got to give. She's sending that straight out to the world, but she knows that he's next to her. So that is all about the Empress. I guess for the shadow sides, like I'll probably do some more videos, and I might do videos just on the shadow sides, but obviously, you know, like the shadow side of the Emperor would be over control, possessiveness, jealousy, you know, not able to control his emotions and, you know, exploding unnecessarily. And the Empress would be overindulgence and vanity, and promiscuity, and you know, not being able to find a way to settle down because she's unable to do those things on. She can't settle down on her own. She needs the guidance of the Emperor. So a shadow side would be, for her, would also to be, you know, not with the Emperor, and she'd be finding other ways to be able to fulfill those sensual needs that she's got. And she definitely is the representation and the manifestation of sensuality and beauty and sexuality, and she's going to give all of that with everything that she's got as the Empress. And yeah, that's about it. That's about her, the Empress.